so cold. That's why I've gone full lumberjack.
Are we recording?
We're recording now. We are.
Okay.
We're recording now.
So let me switch on. Let me switch on.
Yeah, you watch him turn it on. Here it comes. And there he is.
There
Lots to talk about this week. Very, very excited. There's something I did want to focus on early doors.
What is that?
It's a possible power move. I'm slightly confused by it. If you could head to Discord, Flav, and just to be able to see this screen, I'd like to go to the internet here. Louis picked this one up. So this is Flav's Twitter.
What the fuck
and I got sent this by Louis, and he said this needs to be discussed. So if you look closely...
Mate, that's the first time I've ever seen it. Oh my God, there it is. Why does it say that?
Social media influencer.
James, you know me. You know that I would never put that on my.
I thought
I would never do.
Is this a joke or what? Explain yourself.
This is the first time I've ever seen it, James. I'm not even mucking about. I know. Oh yeah, whatever. You know me, James. You know that's the last fucking thing on earth that I would call myself, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Do you know what also has happened? Under my tweets, it says promote. It keeps saying promote, like I can pay to promote the tweets.
You can promote them yourself.
Yeah.
You are so successful. Twitter themselves, then. I didn't think this was the reason for it. I'm surprised. I thought you were doing this as like a bit of a joke, like saying you're an influencer. But in fact, actually, Twitter have taken over your handle because they need to let the world know that you are a social media influencer. Is it possibly because you've done... Go on.
Look, it says, you see that thing there? The little white button. It says promote.
Yeah.
Well, that's new.
Power moves from Flav.
No, I don't want it to say that. That's fucking embarrassing. How do I take that off? Edit professional. Oh, professional profile. Fuck, well, I've got a professional profile.
You're not that professional. You didn't even weren't aware that you had your own professional profile.
No, I know what this is. I know what it is.
Okay.
All right. All right.
What? You're a big deal? Yeah, that's what it is.
No, it's not. It's not. Go and have a look at it now.
Twitter knows. Dario says Twitter knows. I agree. Buffet expert. Yeah, that would be nice. That's actually a good one. Let us know what you would have. Obviously, Flav.
Social media, but that is so embarrassing.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's embarrassing because people
claiming you're not
that.
You claiming you're not a social media influencer?
Look, that's how I earn my money. But I would never. Go and have a look now at my Twitter.
Still there.
Changed it.
Still there.
No, it isn't. Retweet.
That's a screenshot.
Anyway. Yeah, so I know that I think I signed up for. There we go.
Tottenham. He's a Tottenham. What is he?
No,
what's his job?
I changed it to something else. Anyway, this is
maybe it's some desperate. Yeah. No, look, you're not social media.
What's embarrassing about that is that people have seen it and gone, "Oh my God, look at this car! Oh, dickhead."
Well, Louis was. Let us know, Louis, in the chat. Were you bemused? Were you confused? Were you upset? How did you feel? Anyway, let's move on from that because this week's podcast is sponsored by Manscaped, Flav, isn't it? Good old Manscaped. Yeah, now, fellas, I just want to read this beautiful script that has been handed to me. Of course, you want to get these things right, but they are going to the next level, and they're also doing some great stuff at Manscaped at the moment. They've supported the pod a few times, which is amazing. But fellas, have you started spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing.
Yeah.
Spring has sprung, and the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the best tools for cleaning aisle. This is my favourite line of the whole thing. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the best tools for cleaning aisle 5 in your pants. Well done, Manscaped.
Great copy.
That's
great copy.
Great copy. Whoever wrote that initially and then passed it on to someone else, they've read it and gone, Trev, could you just come in here for a second? This is superb work. Aisle 5. Great. Love it. It's so good.
But it just doesn't it show you how well Manscaped have done, like what they've done they captured the tone of what it's like to live inside a man's brain. It's genius stuff. I mean, copywriting is a skill, but this is actually it's genuinely authentic, and not many companies and brands can do it well, and they do it superbly. It's fantastic.
True. And they're doing bloody well as well. because it's time to clear out your winter bush and join the other 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, trademark, by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code Allcott20. I should, we'd like to have it to be Jeffin, but
so it's
fine.
Not.
It's Allcott.
It's fine. It's fine. Do you know the hardest bit to groom is the bollock, and the tools they give you genuinely make the experience a pleasure. This isn't a script. This is coming from my brain. It's an absolute pleasure. It's a bit of a faff. I've got to sort that all out. It isn't a faff with Manscaped. It isn't. It's fun to do.
Are you saying your balls are thanking you? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
My ball, but I'm thanking myself.
Yeah. Manscaped has the full package you need for spring cleaning this year. The Performance Package 4.0 is the only tool you need to keep your boys looking and smelling like the fresh tulips your partner wants. To start for spring cleaning, use the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer to get the most precise shave on your hedges. This is unbelievable. Did we mention it's waterproof as well? It is. No need to worry about watering your grass with this tool. You can get this done maybe in the shower, although be careful about the plug hole. I'd always say that. And this is great. Where's my favourite bit? It's so good. The writing. I'm just going to keep reading it. It's good. Clear your holes and smell the spring air with the Weed Whacker. Let's talk about his nose. This nose and ear hair trimmer provide proprietary skin-safe technology. Okay, can't seem to say it. And of course, you've got the crop reviver as well, which I have used. It's very, very, it's enjoyable. Got to be honest. It keeps your boys from sticking to your leg and leaves them smelling like fresh flowers.
I've had that issue.
Have you? Yeah, I think everyone has. Sometimes you peel it off and your missus go, "What are you doing?" Oh, just anyway.
No, but you don't have that issue because they're constantly connected to your leg.
Oh, yeah.
Can't not be. It's impossible for you.
always touching the sides. Right. So also just to say, this is lovely. To start off spring also marks the start of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month in April. Very, very important. Manscaped has partnered up with Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as part of the We Save Balls initiative. Amazing.
Do you know what else? There's what is there in terms of the male percentage to female watching this? It's got to be about 95% male, right?
Higher, 97. Yeah,
97% male, right? So this impacts 97% of the people watching this, and actually the women as well, because tell the men in your life they need to check their balls. Totally. If you catch cancer, testicular cancer early enough, it's so much more likely with all cancers that you will survive and make a full recovery. But it's also the most treatable as well. So all you got to do is give your balls a little rub. Go online and check the correct way to actually check your balls. But it's not a difficult thing. And if you feel a lump, go to the doctors and they will be able to fix you most of the time. So it's all good.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, amazing stuff. By Manscaped, links in the description. 20% off. Use our code. Support the channel. Support testicular cancer awareness. And make sure you're checking yourself. Absolutely crucial. And it's really, really easy to do and quite enjoyable sometimes. So tuck in.
Are you a man that when he's on the sofa, do you have your hand down your pants? Just one hand.
When I'm on my own, maybe. It's a great source of warmth. I won't do it in front of other people. It really winds me up when people. That's the worst attempt at a power move. Is when people are just walking down the street with their hand down the pants. Like, grow up.
No. I mean, come on.
But they do it. People do it.
No, I know, but they're lunatics, aren't they? But yeah, like if you're on your own, and it's got to be. You can't be with jeans. It's got to be with like joggers on. Nothing wrong with it's quite nice. And while you're doing that, just check your pulse.
Yeah, you're already there.
Two jobs at once. You're cupping, you're giving yourself warmth, and you're keeping yourself healthy.
Lots to talk about. We're going to go. We've got some new bits. It was a good little reset pod last week, and so things like bad eggs from nowhere this week. We've also got a thing called If I Could Turn Back Time. New rules, unwritten rules, a bit of food chat at the end, and a sneaky food move to finish the podcast off as well. I haven't even looked at the games this weekend, actually. So I can have a quick look at that as well.
How have you found the international break?
I love the international break. I love it.
Too.
When it's like, when you can just sort of like calm it down for a second.
Relax.
with the problems with QPR, it's nice to have a little break. Let's get our
what QPR
order.
Didn't play. I thought it's only for clubs with loads of internationals.
No, really good. We've got Scotland star striker. We've got a Moroccan international and Ilias Chair. Loads. We've got loads. Okay.
Fine.
Do you know what? Another reason to get Manscaped is to get yourself all trimmed up for our lovely little nosh session in Fleet Services. If you didn't see last week's podcast, that's not going to make a lot of sense. Yeah. But happy days. We are at 407 patrons now. Yeah.
What's that mean?
It's nosh, isn't it? It's the nosh horn.
Oh.
You hear that?
Out, though. You get ready.
Imagine that everyone's in people with Fleet Services have got no idea, and then you just hear the nosh horn. Ah, dear. Anyway, we did say actually.
Who is it?
Well, before we get to that, this is the most beautifully Jaffin comment I think we've ever had. It was our most liked comment last week, for obviously good reason, and also 16 lovely replies on it. And I did want to read it out because I just thought that it was nice. Obviously, we'll have our condolences as well. Sam Watkinson, my mate's funeral today, and been pretty down all day. But Flav has now given me the goal to become the 400th patron for a bit of head from James and Flav. How the day quickly changed.
It's not just from us, is it? I thought it was all doing it to each other.
Details to follow. But there were 16 replies on that, Sam. And the bulk of them were, sorry for your loss. And Sam, we obviously extend that to you as well. And one reply, which got 47 likes. Sorry for your loss is from Hybrid Gorilla. I'll see you at Fleet Services. I'll be the fella in the bush with the 8K camera.
I love that we just go into Fleet Services and we just give them a little nod. Yeah. In the bush. Hello, mate. All right.
Are you
not too close? Don't do too many close-ups.
It's sort of like a group of people in the toilets, like not going to the toilet, just going, where... Are you here for not? It's like a group of people, and one guy just comes up and goes, "Nosh."
Are you here for the nosh off?
Yeah, the nosh off. Slugs moving forward. Anyway, but sadly for Sam, he's not lucky number 14. It's 400. Sorry. Lucky number 400. Congratulations to you, Charlie Kempson.
He's making his happen, mate. You're making dreams a reality.
Yeah, really excited to get to meet you in person. Let me just clear my throat. Amazing. And yes, as Daria Bora says, this Nosh Sesh is sponsored by Manscaped. Yeah. So Charlie Kempson, lucky number 400. Congratulations to
you. Everyone better invest in some Manscaped before that, because I'm,
Yeah, that's it. We don't want to be.
Let's keep it tidy down there, boys.
Yeah. Slugs in the Wild. Ethan Gilly. I was working as a cameraman in a #United. So for those of you who don't know, Slugs in the Wild is when if you are a patron or are a slug, dry or moist, and you meet other slugs or think you do, or just generally using some of the bizarre in-jokes that we have out in the wild. I was working as a cameraman at #United's 7-a-side tournament that Jim was playing in last year. I was buzzing to say hello to him and revealed that I was in fact a slug. #Stadium is surrounded by woodland, and all day long I was staring at the trees hoping to see a seagull perched on one. Then I could subtly reveal my slug identity to Jim with the line, "Excuse me, James, look at that seagull sat in that tree." I held out for this perfect interaction for the entire day, but of course it didn't happen. Because you never see seagulls that sat in trees. Jim left and I never said a word to him. Got to take your shot, Ethan. Got to take your shot.
Look, if you're new to the podcast, I fully appreciate that none of this is making any sense to you. But if you want to get involved, you've got to go back and watch every episode.
Exactly, or at least the previous one. That will always inform you for the new one. Football. I haven't thought about that. With the sort of attempt to not lose everyone. I might sort of take a little trip to Twitter, see what's happening.
Well, I saw that you did your team of the year, didn't you? Or some Premier League best 11 or something you did.
It's an incredible format. actually.
I'm sure it is.
Premier League squad. You're one of those stupid people who go, this player's got to be in there. You're not thinking about the rules. You haven't. I put Thou. I just list. I carried down to. I put Thou. I put Thou. I put out the rules on Twitter, and then you come in and go, if Skip's on it, then it's rubbish.
We're not going to be friends then. Well, that's not the way I speak. First off,
but the rule was you've got to have one player. You can only have one player per club.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Oliver Skip for Spurs.
Okay, but so that means you can't have Son in this squad.
Fuck him.
Right.
Was you surprised, Jim, about last week? Because last week's conversation was our skippers. I was amazed at the amount of comments. I was mad.
Yeah.
Everyone.
You said to me change the title, which would have been a good decision, but I was at a wedding, so I couldn't really do it. But the bulk of the comments essentially let me know that I'm wrong. Oliver Skip is really good. And better than Højbjerg. Mad.
Yeah.
Very surprised by that. I've got a video going out. This will go out tomorrow on Friday. So I did a video with Chris MD. Did his dream teams. And he said that
the circles you move in is unreal, isn't it?
I'm a huge deal.
You're a big deal, mate.
And he was saying that you are the biggest threat. Spurs are the biggest threat to Arsenal. How's that feel coming from someone of the stature of Chris MD? Buzzing with that?
Yep.
No, it should be. So who you got this week? Let's have a quick look at the fixtures.
We got Newcastle. I was thinking, right, with Spurs and Oliver Skip coming back, if we win 70% of our games, do you think we finish in the top 4? So if we win, 10 out of, or how many games we got left? 9?
9 left, yeah.
9. So what's 70% of 9? Oh, shit, why did I say that? So that's 6.8 or something like that, I think.
He's panicking. So how many points? So 9 times 3, 27 is the amount of points up for grabs. So let's do so 21 points. What about that?
Yeah. Well, Skip, when Skip has played, we've won 70% of our games. If Skip comes back and plays every game, he's apparently going to be in the squad for Newcastle. Will we finish top? You know they're going to reschedule.
I think they're putting a lot. There's so much hype on this lad. I can't help but I feel like getting carried away.
I'm just going by the facts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what he's done. When he's played for us, we've won 70% of our games. I'm not saying he's any better than that. That's just what he's done. So if he carries on that, then. But do you see that the Arsenal's going to be in May? So it's practically going to be the last game of the season.
Is it? Ooh.
Yeah. So I've upset a few Arsenal fans again this week.
Oh no! What's happened then? Should I make my way to your Twitter?
No, it's not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter. Okay.
No, it was on the overlap where I said.
Sorry, very quickly. I really nearly retweeted this myself. This no content bench. Yeah, these benches. So for any Americans watching this, a staple of primary school were these benches.
Yeah.
But in particular, I don't know if it's the same for you. Only year 6 got to sit on the benches.
This is the last. So yeah. Well, if there was an
sort
assembly,
of rite of passage, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if there was an assembly, you would have year 6s on the edges, but they're typically for the team that wasn't playing in the indoor football or hockey or rounders or indoor rounders. The team that wasn't playing sat on the edge of the hallway on these benches. I've got a funny story actually, but I went to Prague once, one of my younger days, and we ended up in an adult establishment. And there might have been some dances had. I don't know what goes on in these places really. I was very drunk.
So like a hoedown.
We went into this room.
So to speak.
Went into this room and they had these benches.
No, they didn't.
And there were at least eight men just sitting along these benches, watching these ladies.
Did they each have?
Galahad.
Just watching. Oh right, they didn't have tickets. What number are you?
No,
8. Oh, okay.
No, it was it was a regretful experience, but they remind me of school and naked women. Those benches.
No.
What were the white flappy bits for?
So Ryan Couch says the white bits were for your bum. Simple. Will Tranter said it was always a bonus to sit on the stumps. Interesting. No, you don't want to get the end, did you? What you really want is almost a bit of a power move. If you weren't on the stumps, but you were on the end. That was always good.
Do you know what? Do you not remember underneath them at the ends there was these flaps?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. So you could like hook them onto something.
That's what I thought he was talking about. I didn't realise the little nubbins.
The little dots, yeah. And sorry, just to really quickly explain this properly, basically, in primary school, you had the years go up 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, and I think you go into year 7, which is secondary school, high school, at the age of like 12. So and in assembly, you would sit in your age groups, year 3, year 4, year 5, and then when you were the daddies, year 6, you get to sit on a bench. It's amazing, isn't it? Carrot and the stick of school. Just hang in there. Oh, I can't do this anymore. Oh no, this is rubbish. We're not learning anything. And it goes. And like, I'm walking away. Year 5 is enough for me. No, hang in there, son. Next year we got the benches. No, you're right. I've got to calm down. Anyway. So what really happened on the overlap? Why did you upset some people on the overlap this week?
I just wanted it to be made clear and put onto the account that Arsenal bottled the North London derby again. That's all I wanted. I thought this is a platform to reinforce this message. So I did. But
did you use the words fear and cowards?
I said everybody's hyping up Arteta, but you know, how much of a leader can he be if he shows clear elements of cowardice when it comes to playing the biggest game of his season, which didn't go down well, as you could imagine.
Who was representing Arsenal this time?
Pippa.
Okay.
Pippa's very good, very
She's
good.
A bit more calculated than
less emotional
Ty.
than Ty. Yeah, for sure. So like, and obviously, you know, she was. And Arsenal fans are, for good reason, very happy at the moment because they are on the journey.
Yep, on the cusp.
They're not on the cusp of what? Look, they're below where they were under Wenger, so they're not on the cusp of anything. They're just having a good season.
You're sitting on the white dots right now, and they're on the end last seat.
My point is they've fallen so low that this feels like progress to them, and that's what clubs need. That's what fan bases need. You need to be cleansed of the need or the desire to win, right? Because most clubs don't win. Certainly clubs like Tottenham and Arsenal, the size of our club, compared to what's happened in other Premier League clubs, typically we're not going to win each season, right? Arsenal, even Tottenham, even more so, right? So if you're close to the edge, like Spurs were with Champions League, and you become obsessed with success, anything other than that success, or more so if you've won, anything other than that complete success feels like you're slipping. And that feeling of going backwards is much, much, much worse and much more frustrating than going upwards, which is where Arsenal find themselves. So Arsenal fans are really happy. They're crying out for top 4, which would be really good for them. But just remember, 5-6 years ago, top 4 wasn't enough, and they were screaming for Wenger to go.
Used to turn their nose up at it, didn't they?
Yeah, it's all relative. So what I'm saying is it's they should the fact that they're enjoying their place at the moment, and the fact that they're moving forward, and they've got these young players that they can believe in, and a system that's good, and they're really good, a good team. You know, that enjoying the journey is the point. You know, their stadium's louder. There just seems to be a buzz around being an Arsenal fan, but it's not because they've made huge steps forward and they're way behind where they were 10 years ago when they were moaning, or 5 years ago when they were moaning. So it's all about the journey. And Arsenal fans have had to humble themselves, and now they're humble. They're realizing actually this is all right, and they've been humbled by being shit by their own standards. So now they're enjoying it, but they've been humbled.
So, are you saying 3 cheers for Arsenal? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying they've wound their neck in, and that's a good job for them. And so
what you're saying, just to sum up, you're saying congratulations on winding your neck in.
Yes.
Okay.
Congratulations. So yeah, but obviously Arsenal fans don't like that truth, and because obviously the overlap is quite well watched.
So what? Sorry, what was it? Was it live last night? Well, it's not. It's not live.
She frets again.
You got threats.
I always get threats, mate. You should see, like, my DMs. I typically don't obviously approve them because I don't want to open that door. But yeah, a couple of not from Arsenal fans, a couple of death threats from City fans.
Death threats.
I had a death threat.
I know where. I know what services you go to.
I'm going to meet you and I'm pretend to nosh you off and stab you. It's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? The thing is, what people don't realise, and they say, like, what really happened at the overlap. What happens is, in order to, if you want to make a career out of talking about football, you got to say stuff, even if you don't fully believe it. You have to say stuff that separates you from someone who's just willing to just say the obvious bits and pieces, because it's boring to watch. It's like Sky Sports. You have to. I could have said, I know Arsenal doing well. It's likely they will finish top 4, and Spurs will do their best to catch them. But the likelihood is Arsenal will get top 4 this season. Does it really matter in the long term? Teams finish in the top 4 and don't progress. I could have said that. That's boring. Do you get invited back? Do other opportunities come? No. So you've got to play the game a little bit. So that's what I do. And the also the Chelsea fans as well. I've irritated them as well.
What did you say about them?
Well, I just said that they were saying on the pod, they go, well, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame because Chelsea fans didn't really get their say over what's happened with Roman Abramovich. And I said, well, they did, didn't they?
Sorry, at what stage?
I think they were talking about it all happened very quickly with Abramovich, and the club was in sanction. The Chelsea fans weren't really listened to, or that the ticket sales and they're unable to go to the game for a short period of time and that kind of stuff. So they're just making a point that the Chelsea fans should have been heard to some degree at that point, right? They're just making a very normal point.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. By the way,
but all of that, the Chelsea fans got forgotten in the time when all the focus was on Abramovich. Right. So I said, well, they did really get a chance, didn't they? Because remember that game against whoever it was they were playing, and they started chanting Roman Abramovich's name and flying Russian flags. That was having a say, wasn't it? That didn't go down well either.
Dear me. That's it, yeah. Well,
and I kind of irritated the Leeds fans as well.
He's this guy. Just putting out rods everywhere.
This is the one I felt bad about. I felt bad about this one because I just said what I've been saying. It's like the shit about them last season was a bit of it was mad that you were you're getting beat handedly, but getting praised. And, again, that was.
Sounds like you're, you're getting to talk a lot.
The Katie Hopkins of the football community. It's kind of becoming that.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me.
Or are you just unbreakable because you've taken so much shit for so long that you're 10,000 hours of something to be an expert at it. You've had your 10,000 hours of the trophy stuff or this or that or Spursy or whatever it is, that you're elite in that space and you could just throw bombs.
I mean, I don't care what people say. So there's that. I don't say it to wind people up. I kind of, it's like an exaggerated version of what I actually think. I do think Arsenal showed elements of cowardice by not turning up, but
it's more entertaining. I get it.
It's probably not a bigger deal as I'm making out.
you got to roll these guys in.
It's fucking football. It means nothing. Like, fundamentally, it means this is the way I look at it.
I tweeted something about that as well. Like I tweeted someone. Let me read this out. This comment. This bloody comment. Someone at the Ultimate Premier League squad. Ultimate in the context of this video means the best possible team. Your rules, therefore, make it impossible to build the Ultimate Premier League squad. And let's face it, some teams would not get any players in an Ultimate squad, whilst other teams might supply 3, 4, 5 players or more. Mate, live your life. You do not have that. There's no. Oh, can't even get
the problem is, James, I'm going to sound a bit gammon here, but we ain't got enough to fucking worry about in this country. It's too easy. It's too easy living it.
Far too easy. Unbelievable stuff. Right, let's move on. Let's move forward. That's all we can do. Do you know what I've started doing at times? Like, when you get... Because there is the other side of it. Like, I get the most, soul-enriching comments sometimes from people. And it, honestly, but, obviously makes my day. And you know what's really nice now is we've got, because we have our slogan, I can say back to him, we can only move forward. And it's like, that is exactly what I mean. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just, like, I think in life, that's all you can do is walk forward. Like, I'm really chuffed with our, we took our time to get to our Latin meaning, but we got it. And I'm really proud of that.
It's the most positive, reaffirming affirmation.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
You can move forward. No matter what you're going through, the only way is forward.
The only way is up,
Genius.
baby. Do you know what? Actually, last comment on that bench thing. The other use of that bench, I'm sorry, I know I'm obsessed with this bench, but I did nearly retweet it myself. The other use of this bench was for people of a certain age, would be at a school disco, and there would be a song that came on that went, "The only way is up, baby." And all you'd do is
you and me now.
All you do is you'd go to those benches, go stand on the bench, and go, "The only way is up," jump off the bench, and then quickly get back on the bench before the next chorus came round. So that was the other use of it. Anyway.
Do you remember who sung that?
Football podcast. Who sang that? Yazoo.
Yaz.
Is it?
Yazoo.
There's a cut-off point.
Not Yazoo. Yaz.
Yeah, so that's The Office. Comments of the week, last week. Fergal McKay. Hey James, wanted to check in for my very first time as a dry slug after watching for a few years. This is my first time checking in because I felt it was important for the boys, James, Flav and Khabib, to know something.
Good to go.
Damn. Although I am a dry slug, in the context of this podcast, I'm also a slug at my school. You see, I go to a school in Santa Cruz, California, and our mascot is a banana slug named Sammy, making the students banana slugs. Although I'm dry, I feel I'm on a different level of moving forward given my duality of being a slug in two separate contexts. Let me know what you think of Sammy the Slug and our school sports emblem, which of course has a banana slug. So this morning I searched, I've got it here, mate. I searched Sammy the Slug and Santa Cruz, and this is what revealed it. So here's Sammy.
There he is.
Here's Sammy. Do you know what I love? I love the logo. I don't know if you can see the logo. Let's move him in. There we go. You got the logo there,
forward,
which is lovely.
Through education.
Reading Plato. If I was a slug, I'd look like that, wouldn't I? With my glasses on. There he is.
That's not dissimilar to you, yeah.
Very similar. So good.
Similar.
And there he is, just being gangster.
Of course he is. This is great. This is fantastic. Yeah. Can I ask why you're called the Slugs?
Yeah. Is a banana slug a big thing in Santa Cruz? I don't know. Look, here's
a banana slug an actual thing. Is that? I know it's a real.
Here's Sammy the Slug learning, but in a COVID friendly environment with his mask on. Amazing stuff. Here's Sammy doing some reporting.
That is looks like, what's that called? What's that piece of equipment called?
Dictaphone.
No, that he's holding on his arm. This is really boring and geeky. This is what I used at university when I was doing Vox Pops and interviews. And I can't remember what it's called. It's basically a recording device.
Here's the modern day slug, new brand identity, which I do like. I think it's been on a bit of a journey here. Running slug, bus slug, all sorts of slugs. So yeah, I mean, congratulations. That's wonderful. Go UCSC.
Yeah.
Right, we can only move forward, so we must. Comments of the week. Al Barbs. Hi, James and fellow slugs. I watch this podcast on a Friday night, usually after coming home from a night out. Most times next to the toilet. Next to the toilet. Is it like the screen's next to the toilet? Are you next to the toilet? It's like a weird tradition now. When buffet chat ended, I was quite relieved after hearing long conversations about eating lots of food and didn't really help my situation of not being sick. However, I am not now disappointed that food chat has seemingly returned. Love the pod. Bit of food chat at the end. Calzino replied underneath saying currently doing the same thing. So a lot of people, this toilet humour, are listening to said toilet humour in the toilet. Quotes of the week. Max Morris, rather than quote of the pod, it's more a conversation of the pod in which James and Flav discuss noshing off their patrons at a high-end service station. Spoken about that. Rebecca Cully,
yes,
who is a moist slug and provides difficult, challenging questions to the mailbag each week.
You asked me one. I put a tweet out saying I'm going on the overlap. and obviously got to have questions for Gary Neville. And she goes, ask one of the ones I sent on Patron. No, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Ask the one into mum or into dad.
Horrific. So yeah, she said, I'll see your fleet service station and raise you Leeds Skelton Lake. Simply phenomenal. Less of a services, more of a spiritual experience. Here is Leeds. Here's Leeds Skelton. I think that the one I was probably most impressed about when I was looking at Leeds Skelton's facilities, they've got Harry Ramsden, which is it's a great indicator of if you're sort of like, where am I? If there's a Harry Ramsden, you're probably in the north.
Yes.
But also look,
love that. It's got Nando's as well.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Look at that for the nippers.
Yeah, little playground as well.
So if you're on the way to it's Leeds, what could you? I mean, is it worth going through there if you're going on to Sheffield? Is it that good?
Oh, it's got a Leon pasty shop, chopsticks.
Come on, Leon. That's fucking hell. What's going on here? Then? So if you're heading to Leeds United, where are Leeds? Are Leeds playing at home this week? If you're heading to Leeds on this footballing weekend, then make sure you go to Leeds Skelton Services.
Yeah. Oh no. Southampton fans.
All right. Any Southampton fans? If any Southampton fans are watching this and they happen to be going to Leeds, please visit Leeds Skelton Services and review it.
A little video. Yeah, do a little review. TikTok review, like a quick TikTok review would be great.
And then we'll put it in the show next week.
Yeah, love it. Great shout. Football
services. I'd like to know more of that. Just show us where you're going. Add a bit of comedy. We'll get on the show.
Finn Maxfield, what a power move from Flav last week. Just subtle enough to pass off as a genuine mistake, but enough belittlement to leave James still thinking about it after the pod. So I said last week on the pod, I had an argument on Sunday. And Flav said, at school, at the ground. Little power move.
I remember saying that.
Belittling me, you kid.
I don't think I did that consciously. It's come from my subconscious.
Okay. Bad eggs from nowhere. Harvey Finch. The weirdest bagged egg I can remember. So this was like, we were talking about how bad attitude turn. Yeah.
Suddenly they're a bad egg at a football club.
Yeah. So I thought this would be a good one for you. You might like this. Weirdest bagged egg I can remember is Danny Rose. One of Spurs' best players for years. Then one season later, has decided his attitude was bad. Looking back, maybe he just dropped off rapidly.
He had injuries and he was tempestuous and needed to be managed. And if players, it seemed to me when watching him at Tottenham, if players weren't doing their everything, he would lose his rag completely, really quickly. And
so when you're watching the games, you often seeing him shouting at other players.
Yeah, 100%. But he was a leader. He was an absolute leader. No, and I don't think many people outside of Spurs realised that he was like he had the potential to be like a club captain. It's just it wasn't. He didn't control it. It wasn't controlled enough. It was very much like, if you fuck up, you're going to be told, and you're going to be told now.
Right. It didn't have the soft skills, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps not. So there would, but in terms of on the pitch, he was definitely one of the most vocal players. And because of that sort of fire he had in him, you needed the right environment to get the best out of him, right? And he needed to be. I think he needed the what? Did I just do a Samson?
No, you didn't. Matthew Blake in the Patron chat just said, "Poor fella, still waiting on that call from Milan."
yeah. Well, this is ultimately where that was the final straw that broke the camel's back, right? But under Pochettino, where we had an excellent team and the players around him were probably better than him, he elevated himself and he became him and Walker on those as those sort of auxiliary left wingers / fullbacks.
Yeah, sure.
They were brilliant. They were the best fullbacks in the league that year. So when that all fell apart, it kind of, I think his sort of motivation fell apart, and then he still had elevated ideas of where he should belong. And like you saw in the All or Nothing, it was
I do like Danny Rose. I did like him as a player in particular. I remember he was at Sunderland on loan, and he was so good for a season. Yeah. Danny Rose just his attitude obviously changed. Nothing to do with the performances dropping somewhat. I've spoken about this a couple of times on different things, but I saw this thing about, it's really wound me up. Stan Collymore in his column, which is never a good start, is it, to a sentence? Said he said, and I had to speak about this on Sky Sports News and had to really sort of calm it down a bit. He said that Dele Alli, Dele Alli, if he's fallen out of love with the game, he needs to quit. If he hasn't got the hunger anymore because he's cheating Everton. Stan Collymore said that. Stan Collymore.
Hold on, he's just joined the club.
He's just joined the club. I looked in the Sky Sports News thing. I did it in a much more intelligent way, and I went, "Can I just so here are Dele Alli's stats. He's played, and I mean taken part of at some point in 6 matches for Everton. In terms of full 90 minutes, he's played just under 2. and the Everton are terrible. And you're saying, Dele, your hunger's. I can tell your hunger's not. Your heart's not in it anymore. You need to walk away. It's not fair on Everton. What are you on about?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it goes back a little bit to what I was saying before. Is that you just got to say stuff to keep the column, haven't you? Just say stuff, make people angry, and then they'll remember you.
They do a little before you go on Sky Sports News. They'll tell you the stories and stuff, and just go where do you sit on this? And I when he throwed that to me, he said he went initially, you happy with everything? And I was like, the Stan Collymore thing is I've got to be honest, that's terrible, but I understand it's a slow news day because it's the middle of an international week. So let's just get through it. But yeah, just to decide that someone hasn't got the hunger, honestly, it just winds me up. I
mean, I guess there's sort of there's his time at Spurs. I genuinely don't think that Dele Alli lost his hunger. I think he was desperate to do well at Spurs, and I think his frustrations with himself and with the scenario, the situation at Tottenham, it was clear to see that he cared. It's just it wasn't ever going to work for him, and he was and remains. He was always a rough diamond. He had a great season, but he wasn't. I've said this.
I know.
I'm sick and tired of patting myself on the back. I have been saying this since his breakout seasons. He was great, but it wasn't.
And that season, mate, that season at White Hart Line
worked for him.
Yes, exactly. That system worked perfectly for him, for someone who's kind of not a midfielder, he's kind of not a striker, but he's also not an actual proper number 10 in terms of give me the ball here, give me the ball there, because he's not good enough on the ball to turn with it. But he was great at arriving in the box, and he was a good finisher, and he had the size to score headers as well. He scored quite a few headers. Yeah. I just the sort of the formula of bad performances equals lack of desire. It's just we're better than that.
It's a weird situation we find ourselves in, because we've given Dele Alli a move. Well, Everton we've given Everton Dele Alli effectively. If he plays X amount of games, we get 10 million, 20, rising to 40 million potentially. But it's never going to happen, is it? But what happens if he doesn't play the games? And Everton have to release him or something like that because they can't afford to. They could potentially be in trouble, couldn't they? What happens to Dele Alli then? Is he given the option?
When's his contract
where does
over?
The contract? I don't know. I think he signed a 3-year deal with it. So I guess it doesn't matter if any money. Basically, I'm asking, will Spurs ever get their money for him?
Yeah. Good luck to him, but I just want to make sure I get him paid. We're getting paid for this. Who knows? Anyway, that did annoy me. Jono, for you, Raul Meireles bottled a single.
2.5 years.
Okay. Raul Meireles bottled a single 50-50 challenge in a game against Chelsea in an era where there was still quite a heated rivalry lingering from the Benitez-Mourinho semi-finals. He's been a bottler from that moment, and my first comment upon mention of his name would always refer to this challenge. I mean, now, do you know what's amazing now? You're an idiot if you don't bottle a 50-50 challenge, because you'll end up going over the ball or whatever it is. Oh, you've become small. Archie Keane, Matt Mills, club captain at the time. He flipped off the East Stand at Reading. It was probably when I fully convinced he was a gobshite. You cannot show any kind of anger towards your own fans, can't you? We get away with murder, don't we? We get away with murder for fans. We're allowed to abuse you the whole time, and you're not allowed to.
What do you think of? What do you think of the booing of what's his name, Slabhead?
Of H. I thought it was. I agree with Southgate again. He gets his spot on most times, and I think what I like about Gareth is sometimes he doesn't he tells the truth. He goes like, Maguire's not been playing great. Like, he says that. Or Rashford's not been playing very well. Like, and he said with this, which I was surprised by, but he went, I think it was a joke. And it is. It's like it's an England fans.
Weird.
Can England fans just stop embarrassing me? Like we are. What was it? I retweeted a tweet. I'll see if I can find it. He's been unbelievable. England have been unbelievable. Here it is. Forever. Since England's record since the beginning of 2021, the only game we've lost was on penalties in the final of the Euros.
Unbelievable, isn't it? And Maguire's been a massive part of that. So everyone just shut up. It's weird. It's weird.
And people go for Southgate and they go, oh, but if we had a proper manager, we did. Just shut up. It's just like, this is such a glorious period to be an England fan. Everyone's ruining it.
You don't have to listen to them.
But it's like, but you do because because everything has to be heard with both sides of it. And one side is often absolute nonsense. Just shut up. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the international break. Watch it. Don't watch it. But don't always have to comment on it. And don't dig out a bloke who's been exemplary as a manager, who's just backing up one of his players right now because he thinks he's probably going to need him.
We don't deserve nice things.
We don't. We don't deserve it. We really don't deserve it. Anyway. If I could turn back time. Last week we asked you if you could go back and change a single goal, what goal would it be? Jack J. Hammer. My goal, I would have stopped, would be Gerrard's versus West Ham in the FA Cup final.
Screamer.
It is a goal, isn't it? It still hurts me to this day. We were seconds away from winning that trophy with a Paul Konchesky winner. That would have been called that literally was minutes away
Konchesky
from being
Cup.
called the Konchesky final. Which one? The Konchesky final? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When he scored from 40 yards out, just crossed one in, got lucky. Amazing. Yeah, it was a shame. One hell of a goal. People don't remember, and this happened a few times with Gerrard, and obviously Gerrard's amazing. I'm a big Gerrard fan. But in the extra time of a few England tournaments, and I remember this game specifically, he was literally just walking around by the end of it. Like, he was dead on his feet. And like, I'm not saying he didn't contribute, but in that extra time, he was just like unable to move anymore. So for someone with such like unbelievable stamina, I remember he was just finished. And I think that's why he even hit that shot, because he was just completely blowing it. What a strike.
Yeah. What a strike.
Bit of Nige chat. Tom's here, Thomas Martin. His father is Nigel Martin. A goal I'd stop from happening would be the Ronaldinho free kick in 2002. So this is lesser change the goal. This is change the player.
Right.
Great insight from Tom here. I was at the stadium watching as my dad was on the bench.
This is Nigel Seaman. Not Nigel Seaman. Nigel Martin.
Nigel Martin, yeah. Seaman had gotten a knock earlier on in the game, and my dad was told to warm up. Rare you see a goalie warm up. That's true, isn't it? You never see a goalie. Unwritten rule: goalies don't have to warm up along the touchline. It's true.
What do goalies do to warm up?
They just sit, don't they? Just chill, sit and chill. When actually they need to be quite agile, don't they? You never see a goalie go down the touchline, do you?
Goalies don't need to run down the touchline to warm up. That is an unwritten rule.
God, yeah. What?
I think I've been better than that. Goalies don't need to warm up.
Yeah.
They don't. They go get on, quick.
Because really, you could probably stretch whilst you're out there, couldn't you? Like whilst the ball's down the other end.
Yeah.
There are always busy goalies who do that, don't they? They love to stretch.
Goalkeepers' injuries are generally quite quick. It's not like a gradual decline. If we better get him off. It's generally like, oh, he's broken his fingers, or
yeah, it's dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was told to warm up. So, I can imagine like going, Nigel, warm up, and he's gone. What do I do then?
What? How? What do you mean warm up? How? What do I do?
He just go, okay, I'm ready. I'll get. Do you mean get up? Seaman didn't perform as well the whole game after the knock. Also, something my dad maintains to this day is that he wouldn't have come forward off his line like Seaman did for the Ronaldinho free kick if he had been brought on for Seaman, and then that goal wouldn't have happened.
Is that what Nigel Martin says? He says, I wouldn't have done that.
I want to come forward personally.
I love that.
because Nigel Martin played in the Greece game. In the game,
we get Nigel Martin on this podcast. We can build out some really interesting questions for him, and just do 10 minutes with Nigel.
10 minutes with Nigel. That could be the title. 10 minutes with Nigel.
10 minutes with Nigel. Martin. Is it Martin? Sorry.
Thomas Martin. Martin. Yeah, we call him Martin.
Yeah, Nigel. First question to Nigel Martin is, why didn't you call your son Martin?
Martin. Yeah.
Tom, ask your dad if he would be up for 10 minutes with Nigel, where we just not fire questions at him, but we'll ask him 10 interesting questions. 10 minutes with Nigel, 10 questions over a 10-minute period.
Yeah.
See if he's up for it. That would be fun.
We then quite possibly would have won that game and then probably the entire tournament as the only other big team left. If we had beaten Brazil, it was Germany, who we beat 5-1 the year before, and we were still a much better team than them. If that goal hadn't have happened, England quite probably would have won a World Cup, and my dad would have a World Cup winners medal. Yeah, I remember at the time, because David Seaman's, he was old and his form had fallen off a cliff a little bit. And I remember thinking, Nigel Martin is the better goalkeeper here. Like, he should be playing more. And then he played in that Greece game. And I don't think he had a terrible game, but I'm not sure I don't think he made a huge mistake. But yeah, it didn't.
Greece game? What are you talking? What Greece game?
The Greece game for the qualifying that Beckham scored the free kick.
Oh.
I remember Nigel Martin started that game. I was like, ooh, Nigel's getting a chance. I wonder if I'll have him on the podcast in 10 years' time. Whatever it was. 20 years' time. 20 years' time. Christ. Anyway.
Pictures of Nigel Martin here.
God bless him.
Stuff.
Yeah, great.
Lovely stuff. I'll ask your dad if he wants to come on.
Yeah.
There's one of him playing as wicketkeeper for Leeds Mods.
Of course
he's wicketkeeper.
I bet the rule was, do not let Nige get to tea first. Absolutely. And they goes, do you want a plate? Don't need one.
Got these hands, look at these.
Well, I got these two hands.
Bournemouth 2 plates, really.
Yeah, sounds good. Where's your spag bowl, guys? Well, it's tea, isn't it? It's more sandwiches and cakes, Nigel. Oh. Okay.
Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, no worries. I'll have 17 sandwiches.
Yeah. Sorry. And James says, probably have to change a couple of goals because we lost 2-1. But I feel had Liverpool won at Stamford Bridge on the final game of the 2002-03 season, Abramovich would have bought them instead of Chelsea. Not sure I would actually reverse the result, but I do think things would have been very different for both clubs. No shit, James. Yeah, how different would it be? The outlook on Liverpool would have been so different.
Why does every club think that Abramovich was about to buy them before going to Chelsea?
Yeah, I thought it was Spurs or Chelsea.
Yeah, I didn't. Apparently, there was Spurs. There was loads. There was others.
He still would have flown by, because isn't it? He's in the plane going, "Oh, what's that?" I wonder if, because obviously it's all West London. They go, "What's that?" It was Loftus Road.
Want that one?
What's that? That's Loftus Road. New rules.
If they were flying over, they would have seen both. He would have looked at both and gone, that one. That one's bigger.
New rules. Francois Janine. Great name. New rule. Every national selection needs to have the same manager for 4 years or 8. We can change this up. So you get a Euros and a World Cup to do the job. And then we go to the next one. And every 4 years, you would have a crazy manager mercato. I feel that would add some spice to international football. So, you only get to manage for an 8-year period. A bit like a presidency, almost.
Right.
I just like the word mercato in the comment. I think that's why I put it in.
I read that as you're allowed 8 years with a decent manager and 4 years with a mad manager. So you could have 8 years of Antonio Conte, but then at the end of that, you have to take Gattuso.
How's Gattuso become like a top manager? It's mad, isn't it?
It doesn't. It's just his demeanor doesn't suit well with what you'd imagine. Right?
No, I think if he was coming into my team, I'd be like, I think I'm all right.
He nearly became Spurs manager, didn't he?
Didn't want it, did he?
No, there was a campaign, wasn't there? There was a campaign by the lads over. Oh, no, seriously, it trended on Twitter that it was no to Gattuso. And apparently, if you believe it, the club were alarmed by the dissatisfaction from the Spurs support on Twitter. I don't think that's a bollocks, but it might not be bollocks. But it's like, I don't know, do do the club really give a shit what fans think? If they wanted Gattuso, would they stop? Would they have stopped? But maybe they would have. Who's he managing now?
Where's he managing now? I want to say Fiorentina.
He was at Napoli last year.
Yeah. Unwritten rules, Mini G. Unwritten rule: you're only allowed to complain about modern footballers' standards and professionalism if your name is either Roy Keane or Steven Gerrard. I think it's probably true, isn't it? Because they were the best of the best of the best. Jude Bellingham is the new. Oh yeah, was he great? Was he? Did you see
he is a lovely, lovely bloke.
Yeah,
he really is. Although what I would say was, Carragher was the only one who kind of made an effort to come and have a good chat with the fans.
Did he? Is that because they felt a bit awkward more than anything? Because obviously they're better than you.
If I was them, I would 100% understand the wanting to get out and not be bogged down for 30 minutes.
Carragher at the there was an overlap live where they were in
that was right. It was a Christmas time,
right? He's got a mouth like a sewer, isn't he, Carragher?
Yeah. He's not. He's very much a local lad. Gives it a lot.
Loves to swear. God bless him. Football.
It's mad though, because when you see these people in real life, you're like, oh, you're like normal size. Like he's marginally taller than me.
How tall is Roy Keane? A bit short.
I'd say 5'10".
He does look great, doesn't he? Lean, isn't he? Remain lean. It's good.
All of them are very still really fit.
Yeah. Neville got a bit chubby for a second, then he's retrieved the situation quite well.
Neville, when Keane looks at you, it's like he's looking at just you, and what you're saying, he's listening to. That's just in a look.
Do you know what I always think when, and you can't unsee this, and once I've said it, let me just take this card out. Imagine this is a playing card. Whenever I watch Gary Neville, whenever I watch Gary Neville, I'd always just think I'd love to get a card and just put it between his eyes. Because he's got quite an indent.
Spent a lot of time looking at that. I spent a lot of time looking at that.
Do you think a card would just fit in there?
Yeah. It's like, where did it come from? I don't remember that when you're playing days.
Yeah, there's certain people that it's probably too late for him to have Botox now, because that would just be so like, hang on a minute, there was a line in the middle of your head. What's happened to that?
Yeah.
Anyway, football, food. Although, just to say, I think if you had to rank those three, Neville, Carragher.
Man, I'm just. I'd say in terms of what likability, I'd say Keane number one, and then Neville and Carragher are probably on a par. But it's interesting because obviously because of this video, I'm just typed Gary Neville's name into Google, and obviously the news stories come up, and all of them are leading with Gary Neville explains why Arteta could leave Arsenal if they finish fourth. When we were talking, it wasn't even a thing. That headline wasn't.
That's the line they've gone for.
Everyone's gone for it. The Evening Standard, Mirror, Mail, Mirror, Express, Daily Mail, and Metro have all led with that. And I was like, I don't.
It's just the biggest fan base, is it not? Arsenal. You make it about Arsenal.
Yeah, of course you're gonna make it click. People are gonna click on it, for sure. But it wasn't. That wasn't. It didn't even have any. It didn't impact me when he said it. Oh, I didn't realize it would be the lead story.
I put Neville first. I go Neville Keane, Carragher. I do
like what you like. Yeah.
I'd listen to Gary Neville quite easily for a long period of time, and then Roy Keane. Roy Keane has really grown on me massively so in the last year.
Look, fundamentally, Gary. This thing happens, and he wanted fans in the room because Gary Neville's driving it. So his willingness to engage with people that are not conventional. In the conventional media, this stuff happens, the overlap happens, and it's his production company in part because he wants it to. And that means that he's bringing fans into the conversation and giving a platform. He doesn't have to do that. And then there's definitely a part of it in looking at it from a commercial aspect because it does really well. But yeah, he's... Do you know what as well that comes through, Jim? When you're listening to them, they're not edited, right? They're not like... It's not like clipped up for you're just in a 2-hour unedited conversation with them. Like what you see, I think it's cut down to like 50 minutes. The actual what goes out on Sky on YouTube rather. But you're sitting there having a 2-hour conversation, and what you realise is they all of them are steeped in club bias. All of them say stuff because it benefits Manchester United or it benefits Liverpool, and that they are fans. So we expect a level of objectiveness. Neutrality or unbiased opinion. We expect that because they're broadcasters now, but that's not where they come from, and that's not what what made them successful when they were footballers. And it was good. Like when Gary Neville called Spurs' problem is that they're just shit, aren't they? That was so much more refreshing than just a straight back up brat answer. I loved that. That's the way fans talk to each other. And this format they've created is, it feels like as much as it can that there is a conversation. You get through to the person a little bit more than just the pundit or the footballer. It's refreshing.
It's good, man. It's done brilliantly.
Yeah, it's done good.
I've got to move on to food chat now. Last little bit of the podcast. James Copland, pasta is greater than rice, which is greater than potatoes, he says. At uni, I would cook as much pasta as I would fit in the pan, fill my plate as much as possible, then refill the pan when done. 2 plates worth every time. Never gone for the 3rd plate, holy grail, but I've heard rumblings that it's possible.
3 plates of pasta isn't possible.
Oh, yeah, so Actually, let me go to Tyler. Tyler Norton says, am I really about to film myself eating multiple portions of spag bowl for Flav? Is that what we're coming to? Yes, and it sounds like the Holy Grail is 3. So anyone wants to give it a go, tweet us. 3 big bowls of pasta feels like the target.
Yeah.
And then I would like another video half an hour later, and you haven't been sick. Can you retain? Yeah, we can all chuck it down our throat, but can you retain it?
Can you retain it? Can you put in the long yard?
Exactly.
So what do we do with this video? Do we put it in the show? Can we speed it up? And
make sure, try and do it quick. Do a TikTok again, I think.
Can anyone do it? Is it possible? Has it been done before? 3 bowls. And we're not talking about a little sort of
like
starter
bowls.
serving.
Yeah.
It's a full serving of spaghetti bolognese times 3. Can you eat it? Or is there a time period? I think there needs to be a time period. We're saying 25 minutes.
Okay, there you go. Dom Hayes, this episode was enlightening for me, this talking about last week, because I found out that I am indeed a wanker because I chose tagliatelle over spaghetti. This was supposed to be a nice evening. Ruined.
A lot of people are saying that apparently I was wrong. I mean,
on reflection, I think you are wrong.
I think spaghetti bolognese made with anything other than spaghetti, it isn't spaghetti bolognese, is it? Something else.
Yeah. I think it's good with penne. I had it with penne this week, and it was really good. Do you know what I did? I
don't hate on anybody for doing it. I got to retract a little bit. I could call them wankers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that was too much. I got lost in the moment. I was got ahead of myself. I'm just saying, spaghetti is the elite.
It's not authentic. You're claiming. Is that what you're saying?
It's just the best. This is the best one. It's the best.
Okay.
The problem with penne is you're getting them through the forks, and you don't get enough of the ragu or the bolognese onto.
Do you know what, I would come back at that and say that I think with spaghetti sometimes I'm struggling to get the meat and the bolognese on the spaghetti itself.
You sound like a man who uses a knife and fork to eat. Is that true?
No. I think I was previously better than that. Fork and a spoon, I think. Yeah, just in case I need to take a picture of it.
Is the way in my household, right? I came into this household about a long time ago now.
Just a whippersnapper, weren't you?
Yes, a young whippersnapper. But my missus made spaghetti bolognese, and I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" And she gave me a knife and fork. I said, "What's this?" She said, "What do you mean, what's this?" All of them, all eating spaghetti bolognese with a knife and fork. And I was like, "No, look at this." To this day, they will not change. I think my missus can be quite stubborn.
Right.
Like when she cuts up onions, she uses a small knife. Apparently, gives her more control. But it's blunt, so her eyes stream. I gave her a bigger knife, which is sharp, so that your eyes don't stream. She will not use it, and it's not. She's being stubborn. Same thing with the spaghetti bolognese.
do you know what I learned about it? It's a good little, and it does work for me. When you're cutting onions, stick your tongue out. It catches like the vapors.
The ether, the vapors. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, like stick it out flat as far as you can. It does. It works for me. It's worked for me.
So every time you cut onions, you're just standing like
that. And it works. Honestly, it works. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna get her to try it.
Get her to try it. Yeah.
Have you seen? You know, talking about football food, right?
Go on.
You know, there's this really big Twitter account called Football Scram.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic. They actually did a little team up with Smith, I think. Have you seen what Spurs are offering? I don't know, and I'm wondering, like, cause I'm not all for, like, I've got an issue with modern football and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a tough line, isn't there? Good food's good food, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. If we're going down that line, at least the food should be good. I don't know if you can find it at Footy Scran. I want you to rate. There we go, Scran. I want you to rate that bit of. Oh, fuck's sake! I've just found Kristen Sturt.
I thought, yeah, when I started to type that, it came up. Footy Scran, got it. 340. Wow. Okay. I like. Do you like the header? The header's good. Decision.
Scran. Scran's an old word that's sort of come back as well.
Yeah. I used to use that in Sheffield, but
yeah, it's northern, very northern.
Oh, look.
Go on. Nice.
Oh, what, this kebab?
Well, no, that's in.
That's a great shout, by the way.
Japan. What are you saying there for that?
Yeah, I'm on that. Like that. £3.10. Good price as well. Don't know what that is. Chicken strips.
£4 chicken strips.
Yeah, I'm alright with that. Oh, who's this? How far have I got to go?
I don't know. Just keep going.
All right. Oh, that burger looks so good.
It's all right. That's all right, doesn't it? £4. That ain't bad. Holy town. I've noticed that actually it's becoming a thing for smaller clubs to put on some decent burgers and decent food.
Yeah, it's because, like Dulwich Hamlets does it really, really well.
I think they probably started it, actually, didn't they?
Maybe, yeah, where you got like wicked beers and good food. And you could, because also with those kind of places, you can walk around the ground. So it's quite nice.
I don't know. We went to. Do you remember we went to Dulwich Hamlets a few times? It was at Bull Street, and after the second time, wow,
that should be wrong, but I'm completely fine with that because you're getting
an insane amount of money for a sausage.
But it is a solid sausage though.
Cool.
That is a poor bun. Let's be honest. That is a poor bun.
Wouldn't mind putting that in my gob.
Yeah, wouldn't mind sticking that down my throat in Fleet Services. Picking that up and sleep.
Cool. Just flinging that sausage down my throat. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Hartley Whitney. I played against them.
Well, there you go. Smash burger.
And what? And they got those kind of burgers? That's amazing.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
That is a disgrace.
God. That is terrible.
That's at Islands. Wow, that's not acceptable.
That is poor. That is rubbish. Oh, pine liquor. No, pine mash. Peas.
What? Beef
tongue.
How
are you eating that?
Beef tongue stew. Not one for you, Flav, that. Jerk chicken and rice. That looks amazing. AFC Wimbledon. Going through a tough time, people at AFC Wimbledon, so I imagine they're probably getting on that.
When I went to Dulwich, about after the second time, I was like, yeah, I'm over this now. This is weird. This isn't proper football to me.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, keep going, James.
No, I mean...
You enjoying this?
Okay.
It's good. This is good content.
Is this a title? Reacting to...
Pretty scran. I don't know. I think we've got a title. All right, scroll down faster. Just want to see what you think of this. I think because it's better than all last week.
Oh, what? We're still waiting on the one that you're talking about?
Spurs.
Oh my God, deep fried pickles. Yes.
Yes. Yum.
Oh my God.
Yum.
Yummy.
Yum.
In my tummy. Jerk chicken pasta. Tooting and Mitcham. Not really feeling that. Ipswich Town. Could be bad.
Forget it.
Where is it? What? There's one. What?
It's down there. Oh my God.
Ireland, Belgium. Ireland. What's wrong with Ireland?
What's going on over there on Ireland? Someone let us know. Fuck's sake. Is that the best they can do?
Shambolic.
Look at it. Fucking embarrassing. That's all right. Oh, I think it's coming up soon, actually.
Okay.
Got a little falafel.
Oh, I'm not about pulled pork, really. But again, AFC Wimbledon really leading the charge.
What the fuck? I mean, I like the sausage.
Yeah. Oh, pizza.
What? Kiwi and sausage pizza.
That's bizarre.
Mental.
No, £6.20. Good price, but no. But chicken, no. Oh, it's Alison. Come on, where is this then? What is it? What am I looking for?
It's just a hot dog.
Fucking hell. It's just a hot dog.
Keep going.
Smoked brisket roll. So it's not actually a hot dog, is it?
Isn't it? I don't know.
It's a brisket roll. Yeah, I mean, that looks... Oh, Spurs, £11. Yeah, it looks good. It does look good. Good bun as well. Solid bun. It does look good. I mean, that looks great as well. Anyway, last couple of questions because there was good comments here. And then a sneaky food move to finish up, to wrap up, if you are somehow still watching this. Where are we? So Dom Hayes said, oh, no. Ollie Grant, I hate to get on Flav's bad side, but what are your thoughts on red Leicester cheese and Worcester sauce as additions to a staple spag bowl? Where do you sit on that?
I don't think I'm a spag bowl connoisseur, so I'm just saying if you like it, then crack on. But I like that. The red Leicester and Worcester sauce sounds good. I sometimes put a tiny bit of Marmite in my ragu sometimes. I
think people do put Worcester sauce sometimes in ragu as well.
I think you're doing well there, mate.
I think give it a go. Let's know. Right, sneaky food moves. To finish off, Tom Hurdis, sneaky moves. The classic stirring your tea without the spoon, chinking the side of the cup so no one can hear you making tea, so you don't have to make any more. It's the velvet spoon technique. Right, this from Peep Show.
I don't remember. I love Peep Show, but I don't remember that
quite
specifically.
Clever. That's very difficult, though, isn't it?
The velvet spoon.
I don't think you can do. That's very hard to do. Just so you don't have to.
I'm trying now.
Do you want what winds up fam? So I make fam cup of tea all the time, right?
Yep.
So I go in, I get a spoon out, and she just and like the sink is literally like half a yard away, but I'll always make the tea. And then I'll just chuck the spoon on the side, and I'll never put it in the bowl, or just quickly like put a splash of water on it and put it drying with the other bits. She like blows, it just drives her mad.
Yeah.
So I can just continue to do that each time. I'll just go, and I'll do the opposite. It's almost a power move. Instead of like clinking, I'll drop the spoon on the counter so it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and then I'll bring through the tea because she can't have a go because I've just made her a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Okay. That is another podcast. That is James Flav for Now podcast. If you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description. Get involved. Flav, any final words as we leave?
Fucking love the lot of you.
Lovely. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll speak to you next week. Ta-da.